There's the golden boy, the man with the
What's up,
golden
Ryan?
huevos, Oscar De La Hoya.
How-
Hey, back with a big
how-
one, Oscar. December 2nd, Ryan Garcia, Oscar Duarte, and the return coming off the first loss of the career of this young superstar. Talk to me
sure.
about the decision making of going regular to zone, not pay-per-view, and this very difficult opponent in Duarte.
Yeah, well, look, I mean, Ryan Garcia is coming off a knockout loss to Tank Davis, and you know, it's very commendable that Ryan Garcia chose Oscar Duarte. You take a look at his record. He's a knockout artist. He's coming off, I believe, an 11 knockout win streak. So you have to commend Ryan Garcia for that, but commend him more for being live on the zone and not pay-per-view. I think he knows the value, the bigger audience, more eyeballs, and that's the way you build a superstar in the sport. I mean, I remember back in the days when I fought on HBO, I would do a huge major pay-per-view and then go back and fight on HBO just to get more eyeballs, just to make my next pay-per-view that much bigger. That's a smart businessman. That's a smart thing to do. And but first things first, I think Ryan has to get through a very tough, durable, strong Oscar Duarte on December 2nd.
Yeah, looking forward to that. Houston live on DAZN. And Oscar, you and Ryan had a little bit of fireworks after this Tank Davis fight on social media. How do you go back and repair that when you guys were so honest, so aggressive toward one another?
Well, look, it's I think I think we're like a family, and every family has its differences. Every family, they have their little arguments, but at the end of the day, it's family. And we understand that. And we understand the value of each other. We understand that boxing is what got us here, and we make a good team. And we're just coming off the biggest, record-breaking pay-per-view of this year. So, there's a lot of business to be done. So, we both understand that. So we're gonna, continue doing our business. We patch things up, and we move forward.
In hindsight, with all the talk that there was about the rehydration clause with the Tank fight, do you think that was the right move looking back? I mean, the fight did huge business. Ryan's going to have to bounce back from a first defeat. But are you okay looking back that was the right move?
Well, if I was negotiating that fight, I would have never negotiated a rehydration clause. It affected Ryan Garcia. I mean, that's the bottom line. He's a big kid. And to have a rehydration clause the following day was a huge mistake. But look, I think Ryan Garcia learned from it. I think Ryan Garcia is now going to listen to me, and not the whispers in his ears. And I strongly feel that, look, Ryan Garcia winning this fight against Oscar Duarte in spectacular fashion will be back on track, and will be ready to fight for a world title.
For sure. Look, Oscar, over your career, man, you've always tried to make the biggest fights, took the biggest chances. Do you counsel Ryan Garcia in this instance on how to bounce back from defeat? Because defeat never seemed to slow you down. You were always looking for the biggest next fight you can make.
Sure. No, I remember, my gosh, I remember whether it was, I think I fought Trinidad first and then fought Mosley next. Those are the chances you have to take. If you believe in your abilities, if your team believes in you, you take the toughest challenges. I mean, they don't make them like me anymore, but I strongly feel that, Ryan Garcia is taking the right fight. It's a dangerous fight. Like I said, Oscar Duarte is coming off an 11-fight knockout streak. He's no pushover whatsoever. He's got a great chin, very durable. So yeah, I commend Ryan for this one. But after this, if he wins December 2nd, then we're off to the races.
you were able to switch trainers a lot in your career and find whatever was the comfortable relationship for that moment. We now see Ryan somewhat following that pattern and now moving on to Derek James. Why do you think this is the right change for him at the right time with such a big name, talented trainer as Derek?
Sure. I mean, look, I believe that a trainer can enhance your performance, can tweak, a few things in your arsenal here and there. But ultimately, it's going to take the fighter up here to absorb all that information. And, if they mesh together well, then it's a perfect fit. But like you said before, I believe changed trainers like 7 times until I found that right one. And every single trainer taught me something new. So I think Derek James will be a great fit for him. Will he be the last trainer for Ryan Garcia? I do not know. But in the meantime, I think they are really working great together and trying to bring out the best in Ryan.
Well, Ryan told us with a victory here against Oscar Duarte on December 2nd, he wants a title at 140, and he's willing to go to Rolly Romero. He's willing to go to Teofimo Lopez, maybe the winner of Haney versus Prograis. Can you, as the promoter, make those fights, even if it means going back to a different network like you did for the Tank Davis fight?
Yes, absolutely. And look, you know that I work with anybody. I want to work with anybody on ESPN, obviously on the Zone. But in order to make these fights happen, we must work together, and I'm willing to do so. Whether it's a Teofimo Lopez, who I just talked to Bob Arum about, he loves the idea. So first thing is first. December 2nd is very, very, very important. And who knows? Maybe we'll be seeing late February Teofimo Lopez, Ryan Garcia fight for the world title.
All right, Oscar, I want to close with, I had a chance to view your documentary, and I, applaud you for being so honest and upfront. Was that a difficult process for you to see not only the film for the first time, but see some people's reaction to some of these big reveals in it?
Yeah, it was incredible to watch my documentary and just reminisce and remind me of what my life has been over the years and who's been there for me, who hasn't, their reactions, maybe being in the dark and not knowing what I was going through. It's quite astonishing, but look, I'm glad I survived it. It was one of those lives that was not easy. You talk about the mental health, you talk about being depressed. I mean, I must have been depressed like 20 times over throughout my career. But yeah, I survived it, and that's the important part of it. People always ask me, well, why did you do the documentary? Because I didn't do it for anybody to get something out of it. I did it for myself, basically. I wanted to just tell the world what I'm literally going through and what I went through and how I came out of it. If you notice, the documentary didn't finish with me raising my hands and now I'm a hero and this and that. No, the documentary just ended like, my gosh, we want to see more. It created an opportunity for me to talk about the struggles, talk about my life. That was very, very important, but also it taught me how strong and resilient I am. It taught me that we're not invincible. It taught me that we're much stronger than what we believe. So it taught me so many things watching that documentary and being part of it. But most importantly, it just made me realize who's there for me.
Indeed. Oscar, I appreciate your time. December 2nd, Ryan Garcia is back against Oscar Duarte. Thanks so much for the time and take care.
Yes, thank you.